What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Mary B, bringing you the mayhem. And if you have seen The Rise of Skywalker, you may notice that a few characters are not exactly as prevalent in that film as one may have hoped. No, I'm not talking about Luke Skywalker. I'm not talking about Han Solo. Not talking about Leia. Oh, wait, yeah, those are the characters we liked and we would have liked to have seen, I don't know, back together on screen as a trio or at least for a moment. No, I'm not talking about them because who cares about those guys? No, I'm talking about Rose Tico. Apparently, there's some backlash as to why Rose Tico didn't have a more prevalent spot in this story. And of course, you could understand that, right? I mean, she was such a huge portion of the story in The Last Jedi, so why is it that she doesn't take up more screen time in The Rise of Skywalker? Well, we have an article here today that comes to us from cinemablend.com that gives us the lowdown on why it is exactly that Rose Tico was sidelined, as they try to kind of skirt around saying in this particular article. So let's go ahead and take a look at this and see what it is that the writer themselves, one of the writers of The Rise of Skywalker, has to say about why it is that Rose Tico didn't quite get as much screen time as perhaps some would have wanted. Not personally me. I was way more concerned about why I didn't get more Luke. So, Star Wars writer explains why Kelly Marie Tran's Rose Tico was cut from The Rise of Skywalker scenes, and it goes down to just sort of they put her back in that potato sack, man. They put her right back in the potato sack. What are you people doing? So there's been plenty for fans to debate where Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is concerned, and one of the most prevalent topics of discussion surrounding episode 9, no, it isn't. I'm sorry. No, it isn't. Is the lack of, or is the around the presence or lack thereof of Rose Tico. Now, one of the film's writers has attempted to offer an explanation for why she had such limited screen time. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker was co-written by J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. The latter sat down for a conversation with Awards Daily, where he addressed how he got involved with Star Wars and the challenges he faced as a screenwriter. When asked about the buzz surrounding Kelly Marie Tran's reduced role in the final installment of the Skywalker saga, sure, if that's what you want to call it, Chris Terrio was ready to offer an explanation connected to the late Carrie Fisher and unused General Leia footage brought back for episode 9. Well, first of all, JJ and I adore Kelly Marie Tran. And you know what? I'm sure you do, because I'm sure she's a lovely, beautiful person. One of the reasons that Rose has a few less scenes than we would like her to have is to do with the difficulty of using Carrie Fisher's footage in the way we wanted to. We wanted Rose to be the anchor at the Rebel base who was with Leia. And we thought we couldn't leave Leia at the base without any of the principals who we love. So Leia and Rose were working together. As the process evolved, a few scenes we'd written with Rose and Leia turned out not to meet the standard for photorealism that we'd hoped. Those scenes unfortunately fell out of the film. The last thing we were doing was deliberately trying to sideline Rose. We adore the character, and we adore Kelly, so much so that we anchored her with our favorite person in a galaxy in the galaxy, General Leia. So look, what you're saying here is that you didn't have a place to put her outside of taking the sideline at the base with General Leia. Because that's what you did with Leia. Because you didn't have what you needed to work with her. Because you got stuck in this position. And look, I will give full fault where it's supposed to be due here. This isn't The Rise of Skywalker's fault. This is The Last Jedi's fault. That you had nothing that you could legitimately do with General Leia, because The Last Jedi failed to do what it was that they should have done, which was go ahead and remove her from the saga gracefully and let Luke live on. And they also shoved these other side characters like Rose Tico down our throats, who we should never have been bothering with taking time for. So you had nothing that you could do with her in this film besides shove her on the base with Leia, and because you didn't have enough footage to make that work, you wound up having to completely sideline her. Well, that's just what happens when you have a mess of a story that like you guys do here, because you didn't have a plan. You didn't have a plan, Star Wars. You didn't have a plan, KK. And so you let things happen that should never have happened, like characters being pushed forward that had no place in this entire story. And then you allowed for characters who should have had a grander role being pushed to the side. So this is what happens when you don't lay out a map for your trilogy, KK. And it's apparent, it's on screen, and it makes everyone just a little bit upset. And poor people like Kelly Marie Tran winds up getting stuffed into potato sacks and looking ridiculous on screen. Look, nobody here hates Kelly Marie Tran. I'm sure she's a lovely, beautiful, wonderful person. But the character Rose Tico is ridiculous and stupid and shouldn't exist. And The Rise of Skywalker was at least able to pick up on that, because you had this character that you didn't really have anything that you could do with her. You sort of shoved her off onto the side, because what else were you supposed to do when you just didn't have what you needed to make it work? But that falls back ultimately on the leadership over at Lucasfilm. So good job, KK. You made a mess of everything, and it shows, and no one's happy. So anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on this article. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know, did you want to see more Rose Tico up on the screen? Make sure you hit that like button, hit the bell for notifications, and if you like, feel free to go over and check me out on my channel. I am Mary B, otherwise known as Mary Mayhem. I put out new content all the time. So thanks, guys, so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Love.
Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from geeksandgamers.com, and if you're a fan of Geeks and Gamers, please go to our website, visit our merchandise store. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, tank tops, and in the very near future, we're going to have many more products for you to choose from. So thank you for the support. We appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.